What's up, guys? It's Ninja on the Ninja. At
that point, you're basically Ghislaine Maxwell with a.
Okay, so I'm watching this comedian. Let me go ahead and show you. But I'm watching this dude, right? Okay. His name is Sammy Obeid. Heckler walks out over Israeli uh, P3DO. Sounds like something from Star Wars. Stand-up or joke, stand-up comedy. Anyways, he is talking about pedos, cops letting go Israel. I remember seeing a post something about pedophiles escape to Israel and blah 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 and the whole 9 yards. And basically, I'm kind of noticing, and also ICE and that whole operation. I believe that the ICE stuff is meant to draw your attention away from what's going on across overseas, because I believe what's going on is not America, but there are people that are American, basically, and they're doing, and it's the same problem in Russia and China and so forth and so on across the world. Basically, there are a select few people in charge, and they're deciding what goes on, what happens, and that's kind of why we have what we have. It's because of the dictators, basically, and their control and the power and the ball. And America was great once upon a time when everyone had money and everyone had power and everyone had a voice. Nowadays, it's the rich. They own everything. Like, I can't get an audience, I can't get viewers, I can't get traffic. I'm blacklisted. Basically, I'm ghosted for the most part. Like Bernie Sanders, sadly, like they are doing to Bernie Sanders what they're doing to me. I should actually reverse that. They're doing to me what they did to Bernie Sanders, basically, right? Is they're starving attention from me, and the reason why they're starving attention from me is because I give you. Uh, I have no ego. There's no bias here. There's nothing to gain. I'm not trying to take your fame. I'm not trying to take your fortune. I don't care. I don't want it. But I want the truth to be said. That's it. I want reality to hit the world. I want the people to be safe. I want that little girl to make it to school and not be trafficked by some sick pedophile or some pervert or something. Because again, I had it. That's the thing. I don't want it. I'm not like Trump. I'm not faking like I deserve it. I'm not some rich dude who has money, and because I grew up and I was the insignificant loser once upon a time, and I'm having a midlife crisis. Now I'm going to be a criminal and do bad things because I regret, or because what's called all those girls that laughed at me, and all those girls that laughed at me, and I was a virgin and I didn't want to be. I didn't have that problem growing up. I was alpha as fuck. I told you I would run, I would fight, I would do all that shit. Right? I had a girl. And she, anyways, I won't talk too much because I live with people I know. But girl lives across the street from me. But anyways, across the street, down the street, across the girl, uh, across the street, and then her neighbor, and then down the street, and then across the street, and then to the right, I think 2 houses, and then 3 houses. I've been with all of them. And those are all different girls, and that's just my street. And then we go to school, and anyways, so I've had potential. I've had it. The problem is, there were people like my parents and my friends and my family and my friends that were neighbors and so forth and so on. And then even the schools and the government. It's just that no matter what I put down, it was never good enough. And because of them, and because of my willpower to continue, and my desire to fight, right? because of that being what it is, I'm basically like Tryndamere from League of Legends. Like I'm the barbarian that refused to die. That's my character. That's my kit. That's me, right? In essence, basically, and it even looks a lot like me too. Like I'm not kidding with you. If I lost the weight, I would fucking pop off as Tryndamere. Anyway, the point is, like I am exactly what what's his name? Fuck. It's funny I don't know his name because he's egotistical bastard, and Tyler won. In League of Legends, there's this dude named Tyler, and his account name is Tyler1. Basically, he is ego incarnate, and what I'm trying to tell you is that he is what I was. Basically, he tries to be, and he's pretending to be what I actually was. As a kid, I actually was what he's trying to pretend to be. And what he's going to the gym for and all that fake crap, I was that kid. I didn't go to no gym. I just did shit. I played handball. I played fucking, we played soccer, basketball, football, all that shit. I was an athlete once upon a time in my life. And again, the problem was I grew up in a world that no matter what I put down, it was never good enough. No matter what it was, I became number one in PSAS. I was a top contender in Super Smash Brothers. You know what I'm saying? In League of Legends, I'm really fucking good. In StarCraft 2, I was really fucking good. Like, there's good under the hood. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so I'm noticing all this shit, right? And my point is, I think that ice exists as a side, basically, to draw your attention away from all the other shit they're doing. I watch a streamer and he's like always talking about how he has his dick in the cookie jar. He gets caught with his dick in the cookie jar or some shit, and I give him shit for it all the time. Right? I'm like, stop thinking with your dick, you fucking douchebag. What the fuck are you doing? But the point is, people hate on me and they talk shit, blah blah blah, like as if I'm the one who said that. Like that hatred should be guided at him, and I should be being rewarded. But for some reason, you guys are all fucked in the head, or this isn't all fucked up, or like something's going on, or you're punishing me. Again, no matter what I do, it's not good enough, right? No matter what I say, it's just not picking up. And just it's kind of like Bernie Sanders, like no one's listening. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not listening. You're not listening. I'm telling you, but you're not saying it. So, anyways, but yeah, because of all of that noise, because of people not paying attention, because of people lying, cheating, stealing, because no one's listening, because of uh, dishonesty, disobedience, because of um, the whole 9 yards, because of all of that, all the bullshit, and all that noise. There's in Israel, there's stuff going on in Israel. Like if like I'm hearing all the time about how America's selling weapons, selling army. Where's Israel getting their stuff? Where's all I say Israel because I don't know much about that situation. Not because I don't want to be involved. I'm a heartless prick, but because me knowing about it is not gonna change anything. It's just gonna fuck me up because I'm gonna be sad. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be sad, so I don't know about it. But I know enough to know that there are news reports of stuff happening, and so I know just a little bit of that, right? But what I can say is there's ice, and what I do is I connect dots, right? I notice a pattern, a routine, a scheme, and that's why I'm really good in video games. Because what I used to do in Super Smash Brothers and PSAS, it was the way I play, like kind of like Ramus from League of Legends. The way I would play is I'd fight on the ropes, kind of at first. I would try to download you, basically, like sing, like all right, that's what you do, and I'd poke, jab, whatever, and I'd prod and do things, right? I feel you out. I learn what you do. I'm like, okay, so you're just someone who likes to do this. Once I figure that out, I'm like, all right, and then I come at you off the ropes, and then I push the advantage. And then suddenly I know what you're doing, and then it's like, oh, here comes that punch, and I'm like, whoop, I duck. I can see it coming, and already, boom, and that's what I used to do back in the day. That's because a kid, and like and I'll say this too, like sadly, uh, me being number one doesn't mean anything, and so it's the same thing in League of Legends and the whole 9 yards. Most of the time, what the top is just a speedrunner, and that's all that they've done. Like the best, like for example, you may be number one in Smash Brothers, but that doesn't make you the same thing. Like chess, in chess, for example, it's not the same thing. Because in chess, you actually have to be aware. But in StarCraft and League of Legends, you can autopilot, basically. But you can't do that in chess. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm looking for. I wanted to play chess, but I wanted it in StarCraft 2 and League of Legends and stuff like that, because chess is kind of boring to me, right? Like, I don't have the imagination of wars and blah, 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 whatever. Like, I want, the graphics, I want the cool stuff, that's why I like Warcraft and StarCraft, Command and Conquer, and all that crap, because I liked watching Company of Heroes, I think it was. I loved that game because it was cool to watch. It was like a movie that I was in control of. And I think the only thing that ruined it, even just a little bit, was the fact that I had to be aware, like, you have to, I have to build this, I have to build that. Like, that's one thing I liked about Company of Heroes was in StarCraft 2, it was like SimCity, way too much like SimCity. And you had to be too much into like building units, build this, build that, blah blah blah, right? One thing about the early Warcraft that I miss and I wish they'd bring it back. Actually, think about it now. I think a lot of people would. It's just a lot of people don't know and don't realize it. And it may be a thing today. Like I promise you, people talk about it later down and mentioned it. People see it. But back in the day, I think it was a PlayStation version or something. You can queue up units even if you didn't have the money for them. So I want 10 Marines to be built. I have enough for 3 of them, and so they would pop out and it wouldn't be made, but the second you had enough money it would make one, basically. And if they had brought that back, I would have been number one playing in that game. But because it was so SimCity and because it was so away from the combat, and that's part of why I didn't like it. Because it's too SimCity. But that's why I liked Company of Heroes. But the problem was, as much as I liked it, um, I think I just stopped. There's nothing about that game I didn't like. I just stopped. I loved that game. It was actually a really good game because it was like watching. It's like a movie that you were watching. You know what I'm saying? And when you lost, it's literally like a movie. Like fuck, that sucks. But when you win, it felt good. Like your sniper is in it. What's called a building, shooting out the window. Pew, pew, right? And then you have a scout fly overhead, and you see that they're sending like 4 squads or 3 squads to your sniper position, so you need to move your sniper. You know what I'm saying? You have to be aware, and so you like, okay, I gotta move him here, put him here, blah blah. And so like that is the chess element I'm talking about. Company of Heroes had the chess element, basically. In StarCraft 2, nope, you couldn't autopilot Company of Heroes. You couldn't make bots to do well. Like in that game, the way that they would make like bots work, because competitively you can't, it's hard to mimic. But the way they would make it work, is it's kind of like in League of Legends. There's this thing called boss mode, or I forget what they call it. But the bots are like a super overpowered, basically. And Company of Heroes, that was the norm, basically. Like they had to make it to the computer had an advantage. Like you make $100 every minute, but they make $600 a minute, because the competitiveness of a PvP element, rather, it wasn't there in PvE. When it was time to face the computer, you could cheese it, basically, if they didn't do this and give it an advantage. Because you can send one sniper and defeat the whole entire army if you want, right? Because the computer is not smart and won't figure it out. But you can't do that if there's twice the army, because normally if you send the army or the sniper towards over here, and normally there's that one crew there, and your sniper's like, you run away, come back in, run away, or just sit there and just watch, just boom, boom, whatever. Like you could PvP and win, and so anyways, that was the point. Um, but yeah, so I spoke about all that crap, blah blah blah. Back to reality. Oh, goes gravity. Oh, goes gravity. Right. Now snap back to reality. um. So yeah. Man, I just reminded myself of Boxy. Uh, Back in the day, she was something else. If me and her, yeah, man, I fucking love that girl. I It sucks. She was chased into a corner. She lied herself out, but yeah, that's what it is. That's the world. Like there's girls that I grew up with that it sucks. The world consumed them too. But again, that's why I do what I do. And that's why I say what I say. That's why I see what I see. It's because it was never good enough, right? It was always they always had something different. I had to deal with contenders and liars and betrayers and bullshit. So, but anyways, that all built me. And so the point is, I think ICE is just to make you look over here. Meanwhile, they're doing all this crap in Israel and blah blah. And again, I don't know about Israel. I don't know the names. I don't know who they're fighting or they're up against, or if they're good or bad guys. Or I don't know enough. I don't know anything about that crap. When I see that stuff, I walk the other way because I know I can't change anything. I can't even help America. You know what I'm saying? And I actually believe in Jordan Peterson in the sense that he said, clean your room. Like, literally, before anything, make sure, like, not literally. People want to say, oh, we should clean your room, and if clean your room doesn't, he doesn't mean it literally. I mean, you can take it literally. That advice does work literally, too. But I'm just saying you can't say it's only meant to be taken literally. That's what I'm trying to tell you, right? You can, but the point was deal with stuff at home first. In that sense, I could say like America first, in the sense, or it's just like the shit fucked up here. We need to solve that shit here. Once it's solved, then we can deal with that shit. You know what I'm saying? And people in America that are in good company, a good place where they have money, and blah blah. Like, and you want to help the world and Israel and whatnot. Understand that's happening because you're not paying attention to what's happening here. Okay, you blame Mexicans, but they aren't the ones doing it. Wake up. Anyways, immigration is a lie. That focus, it's basically it's Hitler. That's all it is. It's basically Hitler propaganda bullshit to turn you into Nazis, to make you into obedient soldiers, to make you to become ICE, and so that you can fuck the girls and take advantage of the world. That's what's happening in Israel and all that shit. That's why the world sucks. It's all because of a dictator, and it's all because of the influence and Jin Mangwung, whatever the fuck his name is in China, and then fucking Patton in Russia, or Putin, whatever, fucking that dude, right? That's why the world sucks. It's because you're so focused on that bullshit, you're not focused on this shit. So, and I'm just connecting dots. The reason why ICE is doing what it's doing is so that you pay attention to. When you look at America, you see ICE, and you're not looking at the Jeffrey Epstein. You know what I'm saying? You're not looking at the files and his information and blah blah blah. Right? You're not paying attention to that shit. Anyways, but yeah, peace out. Be well. Be happy. Be safe. And I like. Oh, I'll be on Destiny's Discord if you want to talk. I also want to say, Destiny. Uh, what the fuck happened to you, dude? What happened to you, man? Anyways, peace.